This video we're going to be talking about graphing linear equations. A linear equation is an equation whose graph is a line. Any points on the line are going to be solutions, and a solution is a point that makes that line a linear equation. We're going to be talking about three different types of linear equations. The only way you can graph a linear equation is that it has to be in a slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. The m is going to stand for the slope, and the b is going to stand for the y-intercept. We'll go over more of that later in this chapter, but that is the form that you will see for you to have to graph a linear equation. Now we're going to talk about that one first. So we are going to graph y equals negative 2x plus 1. Our first step is we're going to make a table of values. When we make our table of values, you're going to either pick 2 or 3 points, because 2 points are what's going to make a line. So in this case, I'm going to choose 3 just so we can see what I mean. So normally a chart it shows the x values and y values, but I'm going to show you kind of the process of how you get your x and y values. So to choose your x values, you can pick any x value. It doesn't matter. And I always choose the three numbers -1, 0, and 1. You can choose any ones you like, but in this case, I'm going to choose those. Then we're going to show you how you get your y values and then what is your coordinate pair now. So I'm going to take -1 because that's my x value, and I'm going to substitute it in for x. So I have -2 times -1 plus 1, and that's going to give me my y value. So -2 times -1 is 2 plus 1, which is going to give me 3. So my new point is -1, 3. That is a solution on my graph. I'm going to do that again for my x value. So I have -2 times 0 plus 1. So -2 times 0 is 0 plus 1, and that's going to give me y is 1. So my point or my solution is 0, 1 for this linear equation. I'm now going to take my 1, substitute it in for x. So I have -2 times 1 plus 1. So I have -2 times 1, which is going to give me -2. I'm going to add 1, so I have -1. So my point is -1, it's going to actually be 1, -1. So that's a 1. Then we're going to go to our next step where we're going to plot the x and y coordinate points. So I'm going to go down to my graph, and I see that I have my points. I'm going to write them down. I have -1, 3, 0, 1, and then 1, -1. Those are my three solutions. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to plot them. So I have -1, so I go to the left one, up 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go to 0, 1, so I go up 1. And I'm going to go 1, down, -1. And step 3 says draw a line through the points. So this is my linear equation. This is my line for y equals -2x plus 1. The second type of linear equation is going to be a horizontal line. Now I use these key kind of things to remember as HOI, which is going to stand for a y graph is always a horizontal line, and it's going to have a value of 0 for its slope. Okay, so HOI is going to be a way you can remember which one is which. 0 is going to be the slope, which we'll talk about in the next section. So for a horizontal line, we have the graph of y equals b, and b can be any number. is a horizontal line passing through 0, comma, whatever that b value is. So if you notice, it's a horizontal line and it's going to cross through that point, whichever b value, it's going to be 0, comma, whatever that number is. So we are going to graph y equals -3. It's going to be a horizontal line that is going to go through -3 on the y-axis. So the point's going to be 0, comma, -3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to plot at 0, -3. And my graph is going to be a horizontal line that goes across all of these points. With this, it's saying that all of these y values are -3, which in that case it is. If you go to 1, this would be -3, 2, -3, 3, -3, 4, -3. If you notice, all of the y values are -3. So that is a horizontal line linear equation for y equals -3. Now our third type is going to be a vertical line. And with a vertical line, when you graph it, it's for an x equals graph. So it's going to go up and down. And the slope for an x equals graph is going to be undefined. And like I said, we'll talk about that in next chapters. But VUX is going to be how you remember that. So vertical, undefined x graph. So I have the graph of x equals a is a vertical line passing through whatever number a is, comma 0. So if you notice, it's x equals a. So let's say that this was 3. It would be at 3, comma 0, the point that it would go through. And all of these values would be 3, comma some number. Now we're going to graph x equals 2. So it's going to be a vertical line that goes through 2, comma 0. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, plot my point, and then I'm going to draw my graph up and down or vertical. And if you notice, all of these x values are 2. So if I were to go 2, comma 1, 2, comma 2, 2, comma -1, 2, comma -2, and so forth. So all of these values are equal to 2.